What screams a lack of intelligence to you? People who assume that if they have not experienced something themselves, it must not exist. Excessive use of pompous flowery language, which on the surface looks impressive, but when you dig deeper you find it's incoherent and totally nonsensical. It's overcompensation. People who refuse to accept when they're wrong. Inability to see views other than their own, and simultaneously not able to defend their view with verifiable sources other than, "Trust me, bro," or "I know someone that it happened to." Out of 8 billion people, you know one person, so it must be true. Believing anything they read on social media. Unwarranted overconfidence in areas where they clearly lack experience or knowledge, especially when paired with dismissiveness toward experts or evidence. When someone believes something without questioning it, doesn't accept that there are better people and always think themselves superior and other people are shit. When people refuse to learn from their mistakes, it screams ignorance to me. People who are dismissive of other views whilst trying to speak authoritatively on subjects they clearly don't know a lot about. Yelling over you or going straight to insults. People who shouts when making argument and dismissive instead of logical thinking. Being proud of not reading. Not expecting bibliophile, but come on. Blaming things entirely on one group. For example, someone who constantly blames the Democrats, or conversely, someone who is always blaming the Republicans. This of course extends beyond politics, but it's a prime example. The inability to recognize and establish connections between disparate ideas and concepts. Unable to adapt to change. The unwillingness or inability to put themselves in other people's shoes and see things from a perspective different than their own. Making up their minds quickly based on scarce information and refusing to consider other evidence. Thinking the Earth is flat or the moon landing was fake because you can't comprehend how it happened. The inability to have discourse or conversation with people who have different views than you. Having a sense of superiority over people you don't know. Funny how many failed this already. If I'm recommending a store to someone because the store has good prices, and I say something like, "I got 5 eggplants for $2 there," and they just say, "I don't like eggplant." When I hear that, I know all is lost. Being offended by everything. Or a general lack of humor. A general lack of curiosity about anything. How some people just float through their life, content never to learn anything beyond what is spoon-fed to them as a literal child is just mind-boggling to me. Lack of empathy. Seems like the dumbest people are the ones who could care less about those around them. It's too complex to think outside their own point of view and perspective and the idea of mutual benefit. When people push their beliefs onto others as if it's fact and can't see things from others' perspectives. Spending hours engrossed in TikTok videos. People playing videos and music in public with no headphones. You can say, "I like pancakes," and somebody will say, "So you hate waffles?" Those somebody need their brain examined. One sometimes runs across people in life that repeatedly behave badly, lying, gaslighting, general narcissistic behavior, and they think they are fooling you. They behave like children, simplistically thinking they fool others with their impulsive, "This gets me out of a difficult situation for the moment," words and actions, and not thinking of the future consequences of their impulsive, pretentious, and shallow way of life. Just because one didn't call them out or acknowledge their bad behavior does not mean one does not see through them, but they blithely keep up the facade, thinking, "Phew, I think I got away with it again, nobody noticed." We all noticed. People who correct unimportant stuff. Religious fanatics. Sexism. It reflects a lack of understanding and awareness of individual capacity and character. People who hang on every word a celebrity says just because they are popular at the moment. Consistent vulnerability and steadfast allegiance to scams and con artists. MLMs, ads that promise that you can get rich or skinny without even working at it, miracle health cures, wildly unrealistic political promises, all the junk that takes one's money or votes by seduction and manipulative tactics. Most everyone fall for a gimmick or two, but while some people sheepishly admit they've been had, other people, unable to admit they were a bit of a dummy, dig their heels in and commit to the cause. An unwillingness or inability to recognize and accept when they are mistaken or wrong. An unintelligent person believes they are always right about everything, and when confronted with evidence to the contrary will react to it as though it is an attack on them as a person. The dumbest people in my life are ones who simply will not accept that they aren't correct about everything, and get pissed off if you prove them wrong or suggest they're mistaken. Pointing out obvious solutions that experts miss. E.g., some goober confidently telling me masks don't work because COVID virus is smaller than the holes in mask. They didn't understand the masks block vapors, not the virus alone. Anyone who bullies. Not considering someone else's arguments when forming a conclusion. If you're only preaching your side and don't know how to compromise or think about what they're saying, then you're just an idiot. Poor spelling and grammar. It's especially important in this day and age when a lot of first impressions happen through email, texting, messaging, etc. Black and white thinking. Some things are not mutually exclusive. Two things can be true about a person at the same time, and many times there are gray areas and whole spectra of in-between possibilities where some people see either this or that. If you're not with us, you're against us, etc.